I'm going to get monetized for this video. But I'm angry enough to not give a crap because I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, guys. But somehow, these women on British TV decided, whatever low bar I keep on setting, these miserable, petty, nasty B words somehow managed to disappoint me. Let's listen.
Meghan has released her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, starting with the CEO of Bumble, Whitney Wolford. Well, journalist Aisha Hazarika joins us now alongside our Joe Elvin. Good morning, ladies. Literally, it's just like we say, dropped really recently, so we're kind of picking our way through. Just at first listen there, she certainly sounds, I think, much more confident and kind of calm in her own skin right now. She kind of knows what she wants and she's happy to talk about it without caring what others are thinking. I think she's owning her time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think she's, decided that she wants to leave the past behind in terms of all the sort of drama of the royal family. And she's very...
Meghan has not spoken about this family since that interview with Oprah. She has had other projects in which she never mentions the royal family. But yet, these hateful... I'm going to get monetized anyway. These hateful bitches always like bringing up the royal family because they need to have a reason in their mind to keep talking negatively about this woman. How pathetic is that?
Very much leaning into sort of being this businesswoman. She's kind of spotting where the gaps are. I think, I was on talking about her TV show, which was kind of, I know got a lot of criticism. I didn't love it, but she's quite savvy at spotting the trends. So the kind of trad wifey trend is quite in at the moment.
What?
And now, she's obviously sort of, there's a big market for female businesswomen, female entrepreneurs. And this idea of, combining family and building business, which is not new by the way, but, it's having a bit of a moment. So I think this is her, I think, unashamed sort of commercial building her brand phase. And you might not like her, but fair play to her. Why not?
Yeah.
She's so busy, isn't she? And I think it's like, because we know that reports are that Prince Harry is very uncomfortable, reportedly, about this idea of making money, and particularly in commercial realms. So that's why
Slapped us. When have you and Prince Harry had a conversation? When have you and Prince Harry's friends, I'm not talking about people that stood next to him and took pictures, I'm talking about people that actually know him, had a conversation? Let me let her finish.
I feel like she's like really out there and throwing things at a wall to see what sticks and what works. But I think also what will be motivating her, and I think the royal family, a lot of people might be surprised, but I think the royal family really will be rooting for her to do really well, because the more successful these ventures are, the less pressure I think there'll be from places like Netflix for them to keep doing the things that were successful, i.e. moaning about the royal family.
Yeah.
So I think it's, hopefully it's a win-win for everybody.
And I also think after...
That was such a hateful, bitchy take. So let me call this bitch out. Slapped us. I think what they are beginning to realize is we've been hating on this woman. We've been lying on this woman. We've made money doing all this and she's not stopping. And now, notice how these so-called three career women are trying to make it seem like Meghan being a businesswoman, a multifaceted accomplished, successful businesswoman is now a bad thing. She's so busy. Yes, you can't. She's busy because she's working. Something that I know you and other members of the press don't like seeing members of the royal family do, because when you aspire to this lifestyle, you aspire to be taken care of. You don't aspire to use the platforms that you are given. None of you are going to get those platforms, by the way, but you don't aspire to use these unnecessary platforms, this unnecessary wealth you hope to be given to do any good in this world, to try and do better, to try and set your own lane and put your own legacy. I hate these bitches so much. Ooh, sorry guys, let me just get it out of there.
What was a very vicious time here, and I know Prince Harry's back today, and we might sort of talk about that in a moment. I think for her as well, there's probably a certain amount of, I want to move on with my life, but also the best revenge is actually to get out there and do really, really well and make a ton of money and be my own woman in my own right. Nobody can take that away from me. So I think you're so right about what you've just said, Jo. She's so out there. She's obviously, trying so many different things. She's trying to diversify. She has a sort of shop online where you can go and buy clothes and things like that. I mean,
sadly, there's
everything.
There's mixed reviews on the jam, apparently. Some people think it's a little bit thin. It's too expensive for me. I can't afford to buy it and try it, but it's sold out as well, though. So yeah.
Well, this is it. She is unashamedly, owning what she's doing right now. And you talk about the commercial side of things. That's kind of what she did before all of this, isn't it? That was her world.
Yeah, and I think what we sometimes forget is she is very much a self-made woman. She was an actress, on a big show, not an absolute box office show, but like a big. She's a hustler, right? Her sort of DNA is she's a hustler, and I know people that knew her before she hit the big time, and she was over in London, and she was, hustling as well. She's obviously wants to do well. She's unbelievably ambitious, but that's not a bad. Sometimes when we describe women as ambitious, people are like, oh, that's terrible. Why shouldn't she be ambitious?
Well, she's clearly ploughing on in spite of what Harry is going through, like you say, back in court. This won't be.
He loves it there. Doesn't he?
It just can't. I mean, he's here, and obviously King Charles, they're on tour at the minute as well. So again, there will be no bumping into one another in the streets of London anytime soon, clearly. But it's another it's a worrying, unwanted chapter, surely. No one, you say he's loving it, but really, who wants to get back into court again?
Although I think the thing with Harry is that, and I got the chance to spend a bit of time with him just after he left the UK for the first time, and he came back, and he asked me to do a conference with him. We had a big chat about everything that was going on. He is somebody who I think if he feels that he's been wronged, maybe it's because of what happened to his mum and all that sort of thing, he does want to try and kind of see things through. And I think what's interesting about the court case today is that, he is going to say, look, because I'm sixth in line to the throne, I feel I do need some protection. It is fair to say that when they left, Scotland Yard said that they had one of the highest levels of threat like threats against them, of any high-profile couple. He is offering to pay for his own protection, which I think is sometimes missed in some of the media coverage. But let's see what happens. He has been very successful in court, I has to say. Up until. Yeah, he has been. He's had a good run in court, so let's see how this
goes. He loves it. He loves it. They'll be happy tonight.
Yes, loves it. Right, this is much more important. There's a hidden meaning behind our footwear.
Apparently
and
so.
How we wear it.
I don't know where they get this stuff, but apparently,
Jo,
yes.
you are the fountain of knowledge on this. I thought it was you.
It does sort of like, say...
Which I thought were quite...
Right. For those of you who don't like me swearing, I don't like me... Well, no, that's not true. Sometimes saying an F word is very good and very relaxing. I think that Aisha woman talks out of both sides of her mouth. She's a hateful cow. I didn't like nonsense she said about Meghan's show. It may not have been for her, but the fact that she came on this channel to contribute negative reviews kind of showed her character. I want you guys to remember, they were review bombing it because they were hoping it would flop. They were review bombing it because they thought they believed their own delulu that they have some sort of influence over Netflix, which is why the instant Instant, Meghan announced there was a season 2. They all shut the F up. And then they were, even their shady rejoiners were so lame, because that was an ultimate mark of success. Now, it's very obvious when they slapped that stupid woman. I don't even, this is the first time I've heard her name, and I'm not going to say it. I'll just call her slapped ass. It's very obvious this slapped ass stupid woman is very jealous and pressed that no matter how evil she is, Meghan is doing so well. And she's saying, oh, she's so busy. And she's a hustler. The fuck does that mean? Most women nowadays are working, my love, just because in the UK, I've said it before, because when you Delulu women are daydreaming of marrying into the royal family, you're only dreaming of the castles, the good life, aka kids. You're not thinking of actually adding value and building your own legacy. Frankly, Meghan is very relatable to all millennial women and younger, because we are all hustlers. We are rooting for her and we want to kind of copy her in a way. Shit, I wish I had a business that was so popular that I could sell it, become a billionaire, and live my life however I want. I don't have to grind so hard. But yeah, I just wanted to drag these two heifers. I have to even give it to the host. She wasn't too bad, but these two nasty pieces of work. F the both of you. Guys, what do you think of Slapdash and Aisha? Please let me know your thoughts and your comments in the chat. Lovely hearing from you. For those of you who don't like me swearing, I'm sorry. These hateful bring it out of me. Like I said, this video most likely will not get monetized. So I thought, let me just let the F words fly. Please feel free to share it with the two of them. They are both nasty and horrible people. Take care and have a good one. Bye.